It's virtual CES 2021 at geekazine.com. All right, we're here with Ryan. Is it Sieberman? Is that how you pronounce it?
Silberman.
And you're with Nomad Plug. Tell us what Nomad Plug is all about.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Jeff. So Nomad Plug is the last adapter you'll ever buy. The inspiration behind the product was being a frequent traveler. I landed up with a drawer full of cheap, bulky, dusty travel adapters. And every time I went on a new trip, I would never know which one to take with to which country. So I decided to create the last adapter that you'll ever buy. So the idea is that it works in every single country. You'll never have to worry about which adapter you have to take to which country. And of course, for the design conscious user, I'm proud to carry it with me in my bag and pair it with, my Pixelbook or MacBook.
Okay, yeah, it looks very bulky for a wall, so I'm assuming it's modular. How does it work?
Yeah, so the idea is that we have magnets in each component, so it's definitely a modular device. This is the full device. It also pairs with a USB-C charger in different versions, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Okay.
But just to take it apart, you've got your main unit, which receives any type of plug, and then it actually has a hinge. So you would plug that into the wall, and then it's got a hinge that allows you to access the sockets. Also, from a vertical perspective, you can also, flap that down and be able to plug that in. And then depending on which country you're going to, this comes apart. So that's your EU plug. And you simply, push that into the adapter. And it's the same idea that it plugs into the wall and you'll be able to access those sockets like that.
If I'm in the US, you have the US plug. But if I'm like natively in the EU, would I have the EU plug as the angle plug, or would it still be the US plug with the adapter?
So they actually all work with the angle plug. So if you're in the US, interestingly, you actually don't need this, because you only need this if you're receiving plugs from anywhere else in the world. So if you're from the US, we have a US version. All you need is that, because that receives your US to.
I totally understand. I'm talking the other end. So bring up that other piece right there.
Yeah.
So you see, you have the US plug that goes into the wall, the one that you flip to angle, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So if I was natively in the UK, I would have, instead of that US plug, there would be an EU plug, correct?
No, it's the same device that works all over the world. So if you were natively in the EU, you would simply still use this main adapter unit, but then you would just, you would be able to use that.
So you don't make different versions of that plug for different areas.
The same applies if you're going to China or Australia. Then you would use that adapter, and that would simply just plug. Same idea. You with me?
Okay. It doesn't convert the power. It's you still have to have a 110 or 240 transformer in between to plug anything into a wall socket in the UK or in China or anything like that, correct?
Well, we've got a built-in fuse, so it doesn't step power up or down. However, the USB-C charger does. Okay. So this is a PD 18 watt. So this gets you a fast charge of your mobile phone, and then we'll have a 35 watt version with multiple USB sockets, and then a 65 watt version which will charge your laptop as well. And that obviously steps the power up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and how many? It's all plug types, right? So there's one for Europe, one for China. What the G type, the F type, the E type? Which types are there in there?
Yeah. So wow. In terms of types, it's literally A to N. So it works in 196 different countries around the world. It does not do 3-pole plug type. So if you
Okay.
need something that needs to have an earth or a third pole, then we wouldn't recommend using that. But most devices are 2 pins, so you're not going to use it to charge a refrigerator or something like that.
Yeah, grounding. Yeah, no grounding on there, but you can.
Correct.
You could plug in a plug with a ground or a neutral into
Yes.
the main unit, and then run it into the plug outlet as 2-prong. Correct.
Correct. So yeah, so I mean, you can see there the third pin for example, the UK, and the US will also take a third pin. But again, we wouldn't recommend if that is actually active. If it needs to be grounded or earthed, we wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. What about if extensions? Because right now it looks like you're plugging it straight into the wall from there. But sometimes like a power strip or something like that, it's looks to be a little bit big, and it can be blocking other power plugs. Would this something be that where you'd work with an extension to make that centerpiece go, or would that inhibit on the power at all?
Yeah, so I mean, it really depends on which unit you're using. So, for example, the EU unit, this in terms of certification, which by the way took a long time to design and balance for certification versus the size of the device. So this is exactly to certification and to spec. So you shouldn't have an issue with using an extension or a power adapter. But I guess it depends on the wall socket, the layout. Some are on the side, some are vertical, some are horizontal. So the idea is that, for example, you could plug this in this way or this way or this way. So this hinge should help with you avoiding hitting another unit that's next to it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming there's also good. What's the weight on that thing? On that item?
So the actual product itself is around 287 grams.
Okay. So when you plug in a plug, how much stress is on the wall outlet at that point?
So we've actually done some tests. It's quite light, and actually it shouldn't. It doesn't have any issues in terms of weight.
Okay.
Either if it's that way, so it's been built to be quite robust, and that should take the weight of any kind of standard adapter, or vertical.
Okay. Does the when you're turning it like that, does it have like a locking motion? So if I want to keep it completely straight like this, and then put the plug in, it won't fall down or anything like that?
Yeah. So what we've got is we've actually got magnets inside the unit. So I don't know if you can hear that, but can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually kind of snaps into place, as well as when you actually pair all the units as well. So that should keep the stresses. They've been stress tested quite a bit, but that should keep the components together when they're in the wall.
Okay. So if you put a plug into there and that plug gets too heavy, it'll fall down, so it doesn't push on the power outlet, the wall outlet.
Correct. So I mean, just like any type of, particularly that is usually an issue just with the US pins. The other type modules don't really have an issue with the wall, grabbing the wall. But because what we actually find is because that sits kind of against the wall, if you can imagine, it provides more support than if it was obviously just the moment. So that would actually provide better support in terms of hanging or hugging the wall.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think we've gotten pretty much all of it. Let's talk about prices and availability at this point.
Sure. So we're launching with the 18-watt version. So you get the full Nomad plug. Let me bring up another color. This is our orange color. So you get the full Nomad plug plus the USB-C module, 18 watts for $76. And then we'll have a US version, which will be priced from $40. And then our 65 watt version, which would be the adapter plus the USB-C, is at around $150.
Okay. And where do people go for more information?
You can visit our website, nomadplug.com, and that should have all the information you need.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. Nomad Plug, pretty cool. I do a lot of international travel, so that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking into for when I start traveling internationally once again. So nomadplug.com. Once again, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Great to chat.
Thanks a lot for watching this video for the CES Virtual by Geekazine. If you're over on geekazine.com or youtube.com/Geekazine, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until next time, you guys geek out and take care.